Jenny, and I'm a senior at Penn studying biochem and biology. So one of my favorite things to do as a child was visiting art museums. I just loved looking at all the pretty colors and shapes and just standing there thinking of how proud those artists must have been to display those creations for the world to see, displaying those beautiful masterpieces. And I remember those moments because I've always wanted to feel like my life was a masterpiece, something to be proud of to show this world. But instead, I felt like I could never live up to those standards, and I wasn't worthy of attention. And the only part of me that anyone ever noticed was my academic achievements. And beyond that, no one, including myself, ever saw anything more. I remember in those Facebook pictures where people tag friends based on different traits, the funny one, the cute one, the crazy one. I was always the smart one. And to a lot of people, this is great. But to me, I felt like those other parts of my identity were just invisible. And with my parents, I thought the only way I could gain their attention and applause was by getting good grades. And because this was the only thing I could hold on to, I started to worship it, and it started to consume my life. And I continued to feed this academic idol when I entered Penn to study into a 4-year bachelor's and master's program. For me, I thought if I could complete this program, it could prove my worth and value and finally live up to all these expectations of me. But I was riding this emotional roller coaster where the highs and lows of each day were solely dependent on how well I did on midterms and assignments. And it just got worse as classes got more difficult. By sophomore year, I shut myself away from everything. I saw almost nobody. I led this robotic life of class, study, sleep, repeat. I had no support system of friends. I felt intense competition from classmates. I battled daily with lies telling me that I was worthless if I didn't get certain grades, that I didn't deserve any breaks or fun or happiness if I couldn't perform well, and that if I couldn't continue being this smart one, I had no other identity to hold on to. In that internal turmoil, my saving grace was surprisingly my mom, when she told me that I should go to a church to find peace and strength. When I heard this, I couldn't believe I was talking to the same person, because my whole life, my mom has always denied God. And she thought that everything could be attributed to human blood, sweat, and tears, and not any higher being. But that year, she was compelled to go to church because she struggled a lot with being alone since I was at college and my dad works and lives abroad. And she told me how in that isolation, she found refuge in God when the people and things that we hold dear to this earth are gone. And when we feel abandoned, God is still that one constant, 24/7, always there with us. So I started wondering, if there's this God that can soften a heart as hard as my mom's, then maybe this is a God worth pursuing for myself. So sophomore year, during Easter, I wandered into GCC service alone. And when I got there, I felt completely out of place. I didn't know the songs that people were singing. I didn't know why people were raising their hands or praying out loud. But I remembered being extremely moved by the testimony shared that day, of stories of broken people who, when they were lost, God rescued them. When they were abandoned, God comforted them. And when they failed in the world's eyes, God still cherished them. And it's pretty crazy that I'm standing up here today, of all days, sharing my story, because it's the day when I started my faith walk 2 years ago. The day when something changed in my mind, and I thought there had to be more in this world than all these stresses and anxieties and self-condemnation. That maybe this identity in academics wasn't the point of life. I didn't become Christian that day or that year, but Easter lit up this small spark of curiosity that God was able to kindle into something more. Junior year, I continued to battle with the same issues, but at the same time, I met an older sister, my family group leader, who related so well to my struggles and showed me that the same battles I'd always been fighting, those same lies I'd always struggled with, those same fears that I had consumed me, is so different when I shed those identity in academics and take on this new identity as a child of God. I didn't have any overnight transformation, but as I was seeking more and hearing sermons and reading apologetics books, asking questions, this idea of Christ just became so much more real. And I felt this immense sort of peace in my heart that I could have never imagined for myself. And when I reflect on my journey with Christ, I'm always amazed by why he chose me to show me how precious I am and worthy I am in his eyes. God isn't proud of me only when I succeed. He doesn't call me just the smart one, but he sees all my characteristics because he is my proud creator. As it says in Ephesians 2:10, we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so that we could do the good things he planned for us long ago. And this whole time of me struggling to be proud of something in my life, he was calling me to realize that he was already proud this whole time, that I'm his child, his creation, his masterpiece. Thank you.